Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you are in the world. My name is Jessica and I am ThisKiwi, and it is time to talk TBR Harvest. So TBR Harvest was created by Leandra from Leandra and the TBR Zero. I will put her link in the description below, so do check it out. So the TBR that I am making for this video is for the haunted house. Now I did make one for the Escape the Corn Maze one, but I lost all the footage for rolling the dice, and I cannot remember what numbers they were. Let me know if you guys want me to do a separate video on that, and I will, but it'll just be talking about the books. So let's have a look at the haunted house. Now I will put the graphic, I'm going to move over here. Where am I going to move? I'll move over here. Right, I will put the graphic over here. And let's just start having a look. Now, there are a few ways that you can do this. You can start by going into the house and going up to the attic to collect your scuba gear. I'm going to start in the attic, and essentially I'm going to be putting as many books as I can on this TBR because they are all going to be on my SCAREathon TBR anyway. So yeah, let's get into this. So first we're going to start in the attic. Now below your feet you hear ghostly moans, heavy creaks, and bone-chilling laughter. To muster the courage to begin your descent, lean on your community, find a prompt from another readathon happening this month, and fill a book to and read a book to fulfill it. Once completed, you can exit the attic. Now I am doing quite a few readathons this month. Obviously I'm doing SCAREathon, so I guess I can put one of my books for SCAREathon on here. I'm going to stick with SCAREathon for my first attic read. Now I'm saying first because I can climb down the chimney, so that's where I'm going to go. When you crawl into the chimney, it's pitch black. That's a dark cover. Now dark cover is, for me, going to be House of Leaves by Mark the Danielewski. That is pretty much a black cover apart from like a bit on the side. And that brings us down to the fireplace. Now somebody lit a fire. Do you climb back up or do you continue down and face the flames? This is a series read. Now I've got a few series going on at the moment. The one that I'm picking for this is one that I have to read this month. It's actually a buddy read that I'm doing with Nicole and Coda, which I'm super excited about. I'm going to be choosing Lasher by Anne Rice. So that is going to be my series read for Fireplace. Now in Fireplace we are going to make our way up the chimney again. After putting out the fire, the smoke lingers. Hold your breath and start climbing. This is to read a hyped title. Now I don't know whether this is still a hyped title, but I have heard nothing but good things about that, and I think maybe that's why one of the reasons why I'm so intimidated to read this, and that is Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn. Everybody loves this, apparently. But it is one that I do need to read this month. So the next attic, I'm going to be doing that again. And that is going to be another readathon, and I'm going to do Pokemon for this one, and I'm going to be doing the chicken prompt, which is yellow or orange and black and white on the cover, and for that I've chosen the Last House on Needless Street. I can't remember the author's name, but I will have it here. So I will be doing that one. Let's move down into the bathroom. In the bathroom, you disturb a ghost while it's taking a bath. How rude. Run. So the prompt is I see dead things. So I'm guessing that has like anything to do with ghosts or like seeing ghosts or something like that. My prompt, seeing ghosts, for a SCAREathon would work for that, absolutely. The prompt, the book that I'm going to be reading for this is actually going to be, I could go with painted, but it's actually going to be The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson. Now, this one is, I think, going to be so creepy. Definitely about a haunted house and ghosts, and haunted things keep happening. This house has a reputation. It needs to keep its reputation. So, yeah. Now, in the library, you have been transported to Fablin, and it is haunted here too. Read a biblio story, so a book about books. Now, I don't have a specific book in mind for this one. If I think of one, I will think of one. I will put it here. Moving on to the bedroom, where when you enter the bedroom, you pause to pet your black cat for comfort, or I want a black cat. Then you remember you don't own a black cat. Read a book relating to superstition. So this one here, I'm going to read Will My Cat Eat My Eyeballs by Caitlin Doty. This is going to be such an interesting read. I'm so looking forward to reading this. And I chose this because she is a mortician and she's a YouTuber as well. But she wrote a book essentially about death and what happens when you die and processes, and also superstitions related like around that as well. I know according to the blurb, she talks about like ancient Egyptian rituals and stuff like that. And the ancient Egyptians were very superstitious. So yeah, I think that's going to work really well for that. Moving down to the first staircase, you hear someone moving around downstairs. Let's pause and regroup. This is going to be a mood read, and I don't know what I'm going to be in the mood for when I read this. Most likely it will be The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Suzanne Collins. The reason for this is I have a lot of spooky, suspenseful reads this October, and so I think it's just going to make for a nice break, kind of, from reading all of those. So yeah, I'm likely going to be choosing this one. Moving on to the theatre, we have Is That Ghostface Watching His Own Films? Sounds about right. Book to film or movie related. Now there are a few book to film books that I've got. I've got Schindler's List on there. I've got World War Z. Haunting of Hill House was made into a TV show. I've also got Practical Magic, which is was made into a movie. Fantastic movie. I've actually got quite a lot that's like book to movie adaptations. But the one that I'm going to choose for this is actually going to be The Exorcist by William Blake. Someone. I did not do my research very well. But that is what I'm going to be choosing. I think this is going to be such a creepy story to read, and I've got it audibly as well. So that's going to that's going to be interesting. Moving on to the seance room. After I've scared the shit out of myself, you interrupt seance. The crystal ball shatters and the table shakes violently, and it's time to go. So this is Read a Book with Supernatural Vibes. For this one, I'm going to be choosing Painted by Kirsten McKenzie. This is a New Zealand book, and this is essentially a story about a woman who does not look after art properly according to like very detailed instructions given by the owner of an estate. And so because of this, a spirit has been released from a painting, and the spirit does not want to go back into the painting. So yeah, I'm going to be choosing that one. For the second staircase, we have Stairs with Claws. So we have to slide down the banister to avoid them. And this is to read a book under 300 pages. Now for this one, I could have also read Painted, but I'm actually going to go with Practical Magic for this one. It is 200 and something pages. It's not quite 300 pages. So yeah, that's going to be really fun. Now for the kitchen and the last room before getting out of here, out of this haunted house, we have something smells delicious, but the chef that this, but the, but that chef at the stove is transparent. I can read most of the time. That is to read a book with food on the cover, and the reason this is a little bit late, I had filmed it already, and then I went and bought myself some books, and I kind of switched around this TBR a little bit. So the book that is I will be reading for this is going to be Daydream by Hannah Grace. Now there is like little kind of cases of food like you'd get in a cafe, that is on the front cover of that. And yeah, that one is going to be quite exciting. I finished not too long ago, a couple of days ago, I finished reading Wildfire, which is the second book in the Maple Hill series. Daydream is the third book. And like the first book got a 4.5 or a 4.25. Wildfire got a 4.25. They're just really enjoyable books for me, and it's going to make such a break in all of this spooky, suspenseful anxiousness. So yeah, it's going to be really fun. So what books are on your TBR for TBR Harvest? Are you participating in TBR Harvest? And which of the three, yes, there are three game boards for you to choose. Which of the three are you going to be doing? Until next time, bye bye.